how to use Salez Toolz with production builders. I think you've been noticing in our series lately that we've been showing you guys how to use it for different applications. I mean, custom, floor plans, any number of things that makes it easier for you. So on the production side, and people that do production quite often don't just do production. It's one aspect of their business, but it's a very big aspect, and they have to take care of a lot of builders. So what happens here is I'm going to go up here to my software, and I'm going to go to what we call load data set. And data sets are a collection of information that you want to use for that client. So if I scroll down here, and you can see we have quite a few. I might go down and grab, let's see here, Toll Brothers. So if I open up Toll Brothers and select, it brings up that. So now what happens is this is a data set built just for that builder. What that means is it could be the exact same things I'm selling for a dozen other builders, but this builder may get a 15% cut of security, a 20% cut of home theater, any number of things that are unique to that builder. And they may have options that are only available to that builder. Very common for there to be like a 10% difference across all the builders. They all have a different, what we call a base package. So the builder may say that we offer these things at no charge. So if we go up and click on that, we're charging $3,200 for that system. We click on this, we're charging $250. But another builder might actually include certain things at no charge. That doesn't mean they're free to the dealer. The dealer charges the builder, but the builder decides to make that an option in his house that is no charge to the customer. That's very common. So we have what we call base packages. So you'll go through with your builders and figure out what those options are. So other things we've done to make this a little easier, if we go into our back end, so when you go up to the menu here, this is the Salez Toolz menu, and of course you get into it up here with these three bars that is referred to as the hamburger menu. And now that I've told you that, you'll never forget it, hamburger menu. We click on that, and it brings up all the different options. So down here I can go and load a data set. I can bring up a matrix server and download more data from the server. So we can go here into the back end under our system. This is where we build the data. So if I go up here, I have the information for these packages. I have my labor cost, price, and then over here we have things like hyperlinks, manufacturer, vendor, model number, and then package identifier and option ID. Now the master package identifier, let's say you're selling a package of 4 cameras. Now the parts for those cameras are going to be the model numbers, but that package in and of itself has a unique identifier, which is the master package identifier. Then over here, this package identifier would be set up to be the builder and community. So if you're working on a specific builder and a specific community, this covers that. So we tried to make it easy, but all very simple. It's just something that allows you to be able to run reports and see what's going on within your business, because you might have a dozen builders, and if you have that many builders, you might have 3 dozen communities. And then within those 3 dozen communities, they can have different options again. So while you may have similar packages, you can be changing out those option IDs, the master package identifier, so you can start to track those things based on builder and community. So we go down here to burglary and alarm. And here again, this is a system that would have unique parts to it. So we're going to keep those parts listed out, so every single piece that goes into this package is listed, but the customer is not going to see that. What they're seeing is they're buying a security system. And isn't that really how customers see things? They don't see things as parts and pieces. They see it as, what is this going to cost me? And if you notice up here, it shows a 0 value. What that means is you're going to be able to go up there and sell that to your customer at no charge. So you're not really selling it so much as saying this is included in the price of the house. But then you'll be able to run a report. So we go up here and we go to our reports. And actually, before I can even run a report, I need to add a few things. So we're going to go up here and go into the, let's say, I'm going to add a room. This is also very important. So right here what I'm doing is I clicked on the little location and I go new location. And I'm going to create a location called security head end. So I can add these locations on the fly, and I'll make that the first location. What happens is whatever order you put these locations in is the order the report is going to print out in. So it's going to basically start with this location at the top. So if there is something under security head end, it's going to show up here. So I'll add that in. Then I can go up here and I will go over to my entry. And maybe here I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in a wireless key fob. So I'll add that in. Then I might go down here to the kitchen and maybe I'm going to put in a temp sensor or flood sensor. So right there. And if you notice too, we're trying to show the customer this and they're like, wait a minute, I don't live in a floodplain. Well, you know what? You don't have to, because if you have plumbing in your house and the toilet overflows, you have a flood. Just imagine being gone all day to work with a broken pipe. How much water could there be in your house? Oh my gosh, I see what you mean. So this is important. Yeah, so you're helping the customer to understand what they're buying. Or a heat sensor. You want to protect this lovely kitchen and you might have left something going on the stove. This is going to help you to find that. So these kind of things, we're trying to help you guys sell this to your customer, because you may only have 20 and 40 minutes to sell. So you want to make this go quickly and efficiently. So we're going to go up here now. We've added a couple things. I'm going to go to client info and I'm going to cheat a little bit and just make this easy and just import. We can import and export, meaning we can actually share data. So if I go up there and grab that, I now have this information, close and save. So I have entered my customer's information. By default, you're going to have your company info. And here will be all of your company name, email. Down here will be your terms and agreements. So you'll be able to have your contract. And this is as simple as cut and paste. And if you're working with different security companies, you're going to be able to go up and create a monitoring agreement. And that's what we call another document. And you're going to be able to open up that security agreement inside our software, have it populated from the customer's information, and that'll be attached with the report that you create. But that'll be another webinar. We go over other documents, but I'll touch on that today. So now we go up here and we go to our reports. We go right there, we go create. And when the reports come up, we have three options for reports. A client report. This is what your customer sees. And depending on the customer, they may want to see it in different ways. So we have one report that is by location, by system. And this displays the package image. The next report is exactly the same, except in showing the package image, we show the icon. I actually like the icons because they tie out to the floor plan. Down here is by location, by system, and we've taken out some of the pricing on individual packages and simply show totals for rooms. So if you notice there, you're not going to see that this much for these speakers. It'll be this much for the master bedroom. Down here, this is by system. So you can show it to your customer by security, by audio video, by structured wiring. So then we go over here to our field report, and we have different reports here. So let's say you're sending your installers out to do a job. They have the exact same report the customer had, except without the pricing. It'll also include the floor plans. It'll include the images you took, the pictures, and the report. So that installer has all the notes that were taken, any pictures that were taken, and floor plans. It's a pretty comprehensive type of report. So then we go down to our third one, which is our staff report. And this are the ones used internally. So if you're going to be working with your builder and you go out and sell a job to one of their clients for $20,000, that builder gets a cut. So you now owe him $16,000. You can run this report based on you having entered in that builder's cost, meaning basically here's what the builder buys it from me for. So if you sell it to your customer for $100 and that builder gets it for $80, you're going to generate a report first to the customer for the full amount, turn right around and create another report that you generate for your builder saying, I just sold these 5 clients today. You owe me this much for each of those. So you're able to generate a report for your builder at the same time you do one for your client. So from the production side, it really streamlines your business process. Everything goes faster and better. And then the product list is a pick list. It basically lists out everything you need on that job, every part, every piece. And we're actually going to be adding a number of new reports that's going to let you show these by location. So you'll be able to say, here is the master bedroom security. Here's all the security part. Here's the living room audio video. Here's all of that. So you can see you have a lot of interesting reports for the client, for the staff, and for the internal office. We try to make it simple. And then over here, you have options on things that you can select. And you'll see more options on the iPad. We'll get to the iPad here in a moment. So I can go up there and just say select all because I want to show my contract. If this is just a proposal, customer's not signing up, maybe you don't give them the contract yet. Then comments. Maybe you don't want to share the comments. There's things you wrote down. His dog is ugly. Any number of things you may not want to share. I recommend that you keep those comments showing because it helps the customer to remember what was talked about and they're agreeing to it. And if it's in the contract and they sign the contract, that proposal, they're kind of committing to it too. And then show payment schedule. Now with production, you don't usually have payment schedules because quite often you're billing through the builder. So all you do is uncheck that, doesn't come up. So up here I can ignore all adjustments. I can ignore taxes. When you're working with builders quite often, they don't pay tax, or you pay taxes on the cost, not on the selling price. There's any number of issues you run into. We try and keep that simple. We can also output down here to Excel files. So we do that all the time for our customers, create a custom Excel file and an output. So now let's go ahead and jump over to our iPad, because that's always the fun part. And I'm going to bring that up right now. So if you have any questions so far, it looks like everyone seems to be understanding this just fine. We tried to keep this simple. And then we're going to go up here, and what I'm doing right now is I'm going to stream my iPad up to my PC. And that's something a lot of you guys can do too. It's a great function. I mean, it really is quite powerful. So you can walk up and into a client's house, and you could use an Apple TV or just an HDMI adapter and plug right into the client's TV, and now you're showing your iPad on their big screen, which means they can see it better. Because the one thing about Salez Toolz is this is a client-facing app. And if you notice here, you can see how it's kind of mimicking each other. The iPad app, the Mac app, and the PC app are mostly identical. There's a few little features that just have different icons just because of Apple, but they are pretty much the same app. If you know one, you can operate any of them. They work exactly the same. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go up here and open up a session. So I'll go into here. And a session is what we call a client file. So I'm going to go in and unsaved data detected. I'm not going to save what I'm working on because there's nothing really there. And I'm going to grab that. So what you're going to see is going to load up that data set. Now from a production builder standpoint, what you would use this for, you might save sessions that have the different floor plans. So if you have a community with 10 or 20 floor plans, you could load up each of those floor plans in advance, select the options, and then just simply go up and say, well, you have the Cortez, or you have the 1840, or you have the Matrix, whatever that floor plan model is, you can have it preloaded and have the builder packages that are free already built in. So if they're getting a surround system or they're getting a security panel, those could already be showing. So what you're going to see here is you have the rooms predefined based on that floor plan. You have the systems that you're offering to that client. So if I go into here and I go distribute AV Elan, you can see I'm now selling the Elan system. And we're showing that product. And you guys, I can't stress enough, especially in production building, this is client facing. Most softwares you see, you don't want them looking at it because it's really just an Excel spreadsheet showing price. If we're only selling on price, we've already lost the war. We're not getting our customers excited. We have lost the art of sales. We want to increase their sales. We want to make every salesman more powerful. So we're going to give them these great images with descriptions. We're basically going to put words in their mouth. And they're going to be like, oh, wow, okay, great. I got that. Very simple. So you can see just how easy that is. We're going to have all these different systems built in, and then you'll simply sell them to that client, walking through room by room, house by house. So then we're going to go up to the floor plan. And the way you do the floor plans, I'm going to show you first the floor plan. And right here, I could create custom. If we're doing production work, we have their plans. They're emailing them to us constantly. Okay, if we were on a brand new job for some reason, and for some reason you didn't have the floor plan, you could just take a picture of the floor plan in the design center, and now you have the floor plan. But what you're going to do is you're going to import from the photo library. So you go up here, click on that, and you can see that I have lots of floor plans, and I have images and Google Earth screenshots, any number of things. So I'm going to go up to here, and here's where I brought in a whole series. So this might be a community. I might have chosen to bring all these floor plans in, and I say, okay, I'm going to do this one, and it brings it up. I look it over and go, yep, that's the one I want, and I'm going to go use. Okay, now it comes in. I'm going to make that floor 1. I'm going to make that F3, because I already have a floor 1 here. What happens is you're naming these, so you can name it basement, main floor, upper floor, floor 1, floor 2, I mean, whatever you want. It's going to be up to you how you have this set up. So we try and keep that going for you. Okay, so the next thing is we get into here, and I'm going to rotate this because I don't want this in portrait mode. I want it in landscape. It just gives me more space. I can see more of it on the screen. I can also go up here and hit the menu button and collapse that. The navigation panel gives us our locations and systems, and right now I'm just trying to focus on this. I could also go in and crop. So if you see that, I can go up there and crop that and say I want to do this. There are some pre-size. Not really going to work for us. And then we're going to go up there and go, you know what, we're not going to crop it at all. Because a lot of times you might get a floor plan where you're going to have multiple things in it. So I'm going to go up here and go, okay. And then I'm going to go down here, and it's going to open that up. And I'm going to go back in. And I'm going to bring in a bigger plan. I want to show everything else on the cropping side. So import from photo library. Go to moments here. And I'm going to bring in this one. So it's not uncommon for builders sometimes to give you multiple floors on a single page. So I'm going to go up there and use this one. So you might do, if you have that, and we're going to call this F6. So right here, now you can see where this is just one floor, but I see it happen all the time where you have multiple floors on a single page. What you can do is import that drawing multiple times and then crop out each floor. And you end up with the floor that you want. So we go up there, go OK, and done. So I have now set that up. So now I can go into there, go to my floor plans, and I go into choose from existing floor plans. So here is where I can do up there and select that. So I have that one. I have a Google Earth screenshot. There's the floor plan I just brought in. There's the one I just cropped. So you can see you can have as many floor plans as you want. We try and make it easy. We're going to go ahead and take this one I've already done some markup on. And it's not uncommon for you guys to get things laid out, especially in production homes. If you know this is the surround system right here, and you know they're going to get a free pre-wire, if you notice here the little icon shapes show a speaker and a wire. Once you get used to these, you'll know that's what they want to do. So I can go up there and I can go down to icons. And if you notice across the bottom, I'm now showing all of these icons. That is for the entire project. When I go up here, what you're going to see is I'm showing all locations, all systems. I'm going to turn that off. Keep in mind when you're dealing with a client, they sometimes can get lost in the weeds. They don't quite know what they're looking at. And so they're trying to rely on you to say, what am I doing here? So what I just did is I turned off all locations that went just to the living room in Theater Builder. So what that is doing is giving me just these icons. And this is a 7.1 pre-wire. And what we do here is, even though we have it represented by a single icon in Salez Toolz, when it goes to the floor plan app, we've created these secondary icons. So if we sell this as a package, it brings up on the floor plan all of these icons. The same thing could be true of security cameras. I might sell a 4-camera package. So we have the icons that'll show each camera inside of that package, and you can assign those. You decide what's what. So right here, I'm showing these in a different color because maybe these are in ceiling. Maybe this is a set, our 5.1.4. So any number of things, and you can determine how to best represent that to your installers, to your client. Over here is my subwoofer. I can put that wherever I want in this room. Move it around to the back here, put it up in the front. Whatever's going to work out best. We try and figure that out. I can size my icons. But like I said, for production building, you only have a limited amount of time for these guys. They might give you 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Whatever it is, you have to be done in that timeline. So if you can go up there and get your floor plans pre-set up, meaning if there's free pre-wire included, put it in. If there's a security system included, put it in. Have the floor plan ready to go, so all the salesperson has to do when they're ready is open up this floor plan, because the customer says, well, I bought the, number 7. Okay, we open up number 7. There's the floor plan, and this is already in there. Now, I have filtered this by surround sound, but I could just as easily in this room go all systems. And down here, what you're seeing on the lower is I have other things I haven't put in yet. So I'm going to go down there and add in my structured wiring. So I'm showing that just on this. And if I'd made a mistake and maybe I had put this jack in the living room over here, I now know because I'm in this location, living room, that jack's in the wrong spot. If I went to the master bedroom, you can see it shows just one right there. I add that one in, and I put that in the master bedroom. I can go down here and size that icon out by using my slider. I go back up to the living room, and I'm showing all systems there. And I'm going to go ahead and move this over to this room. And actually, that is the living room, so I'll put that there. So you kind of get the idea where it's easy. Using our filters, I can show all systems, all locations. That's the entire project. I can show one system, just like that. Or I can go up there and show surveillance, just like that. So now I'm showing my cameras on the project. So you can see I can filter by one system across the entire plan. I can filter by all systems across the entire plan. I can have one system in one room, all systems in one room. And it's easy. So I can go up here and start to add things in. So if I want more cameras, I bring those cameras in and put them where I want them. So now I'm starting to add stuff in here. So this house is going to be well secured with cameras. So you can see that. And then I'll go up there and size them so they're all the same size. Some of the things we did to make it easier. Not letting users size icons individually means you don't have to. You go up there and size them all so they're all consistent. It's a better look because, again, this is client-facing. People are going to be using this plan. Keeping things consistent and easy is smart. So now I go up and I might go into my network system. Oh, I don't have anything. What do you know? So I can go back down there and go all systems and see everything in this project. So if I decide that that subwoofer is fine because it's over that, we're good. So now we have the floor plan done. And I'm going to go, okay. I can go down here and I could text that off to one of my installers. I may have just made some changes, set things up, and the installer's like, what do you want me to do in this room? Let me text it to you. So right up here at the top, I can text this image off as a JPEG. So even though they don't have Salez Toolz, they just have their phone or an iPad or a computer, we can email or text it so they can get this image and do markup on it. That becomes very important too because a floor plan, great as that is, it shows exactly where it is in a two-dimensional realm. So basically I'm looking down on this. I don't know how high or anything else any of this is supposed to be. So what we're going to do now is go in here and take a quick look at this. So I go down here to the bottom right and you'll see we have our design view blue button for the floor plans. Over here is our camera view button. So if I click on that and I go choose from photo gallery, it's going to bring up images I've already created. Now this could be as you're walking that new construction job, production home, and this might be something that you've done 100 times for this floor plan. So maybe you took a picture of a finished unit and then you simply saved it, emailed that to yourself, imported it, and put it into that template. So when you do the Cortez, this image is always in there. Even though the customer who's buying that Cortez, the house isn't even built yet. But they're all going to be the same. So you know that, you've laid this out, you incorporate that image. And again, you guys, production building is about efficiencies. Everything needs to be quick and efficient. So if you can have things pre-laid out, pre-designed, your installers will get it done much faster. They'll become very good at it and be asking you a lot fewer questions. So if this is where you always put things in a certain room, right, in the kitchen, they have a big TV in the wall, that's it. That's where those go. So I'll go up there and take that, and you can still change it. So if on this job something has changed, I'm going to go up to my draw function. I'm going to go to my systems. The difference between the systems option and the background is background will stay on this picture no matter what system I choose. I'm sorry, and then the systems button tracks. So if I go up here and I go to entry and I go to security, it'll turn certain things off because I had that under systems. If you notice, the structured wiring jacks went away. But the drawing I put under background, meaning it shows up everywhere. So now if I go up here and I click on that, which is the eraser. So the color box, you can notice the bottom right there, I just turned it into an eraser. I'm going to make my brush bigger. And now I'll go ahead and erase it. Actually, this is an actual image. So you kind of get the idea where I can go up there and I could turn that off, and I can go up and do that, draw around and go in and realize I made a big mistake and I don't want to do that. So I turn on my eraser and I turn it off. So the image in the background here is actually a background image. So that's simple. So you can see just how easy this is to do. I can change out my line size and my color, and then I can go up there and draw. So you kind of get the idea of just how easy this is to do. So go back up there and erase the mess I just made. So then I go OK, and I can go into my photo gallery and bring up other images that I've created. So again, you guys, on the production side, you might have another picture of the Cortez that's finished, and you have this picture in there as an option because, again, this house isn't built yet, but you may have already installed 20 or 30 of these. So you can take images from other homes, incorporate them. Also a great selling point. If a customer can see what their home is going to look like finished based on other homes, they're going to be like, oh, wow, yeah, that is kind of nice. I do like that. Remember, guys, production's about sales. In 40 minutes, you want to sell someone anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000 in product. So you want to get technology into their home. If they can visualize it, they can buy it. And we're trying to show you just how to do that here. So you guys, I want to thank you all for coming this morning. And I think we should have a go up here and go over some questions this morning. So I'm going to be opening up the microphones and seeing if anybody has any questions. Just so you know, you guys, almost never does anybody talk to me, but I try. So I'll ask people. Oh, and it looks like I already have a question here. Look at that. What do those reports look like? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at a report. Good call, Mike. So I'm going to go up there and go done. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to reports, create. I'm going to go client report. I'm going to select all there. And down here, I'm going to select floor plans and images. Right down here is the other documents. That's something we'll go over as far as that'd be like your alarm monitoring agreement. That would be your credit card agreement, your debit card agreement, maybe a guard agreement. Those things are other documents that can be included and provided by your monitoring company. So if you have a monitoring service, let's see, we have more questions here. What do these reports look like? Mike actually had a conflict, so he asked me to sit in. Oh, hi, Angie. Okay, you guys, so what we're going to do now is going to go up here to reports 2. I'm going to bring it up, and this is going to generate the report. It's going to generate all the images. It's going to generate the floor plan. So right there would have your customer's information. There would be your company information. And whatever logo you put in, which is very easy to swap it out, gives you the logo. And as we mentioned, here's the security head end, first location, first system. There's the entry. Now I have all of this plus surveillance. Here's the next room. So this is the report. And again, you can see how easy all of this is. We come down here. We have our total. We've given them a discount of $788. We have our agreement. Right there is the payment schedule. And now my customer can sign up. That fast. Down here are all the comments we made. And here's the floor plans I was telling you about. So we have the icons laid out. Everything seems to be looking pretty good. We try to keep this simple. So now your installer, your customer, this is where we use Google Earth for those. It makes for a very simple layout. And now you spent 40 minutes with your customer sitting down, going over this. You got them all excited, and they bought more than they imagined. They raised their budget, not based on price, based on value. The things you showed them had greater value because they could better understand it. They're like, yeah, that is good. I like that. Okay. So then you simply go down here and you save. It always makes you save. You want to save reports? You guys, be careful now. This happens a lot with guys. They forget. When you save a report is a PDF. So I just saved this cool report as a static file with that customer signature. It's a point in time. We can't modify the report because it's a PDF and someone signed it. It's a legally binding agreement. So I'm going to go up there and do this. And then we're going to go production report. And we're going to go done and save. So now this has been saved. And now I can go down there. If you notice at the bottom down here, the save went away because I saved it, and now lets me email or print. So you can't even email or print until you've saved the report. We do that on purpose. I can delete that saved report later, but I'm trying to make sure our salespeople don't forget to do something. If they're prompted along the way and they have to do this before they do that, you know it's going to get done every time. We want a consistent system in place. We want people to be able to, oh, I'm sorry, another question here. Angie, yes, is your contract, what we do is with your contract, we'll take it, turn it into an HTML document, and I tell you what, I'll take you offline after this meeting. I can kind of show you guys how that works, so we can talk about that. But I'll go up there right now and get that going. So we go done. I email this off to my client, and I'm done. And the way we would get a contract in there, so I'm going to go up to my Matrix server. I'm going to go to the Salez Toolz data store, and I can download from there. So you guys can see up here is where we have our data posted. So let's say we have a security monitoring company where they have a contract, for alarm monitoring agreement. Their dealers could download, just their dealers have access, and they could download any forms that that security company had available to their dealers. They download it, and then they'd be able to go in and run those reports. So if they decided to use the alarm monitoring agreement, that agreement would get populated with all the contact information. Customer would be able to sign it. They'd be able to check boxes. So, and I can show you some of those things. So right now, you guys, I think that covers us on this in one moment here. So is there a way to send information to a client prior to the appointment to see a catalog type email document? Yes, there's things you can do, but a lot of it is you don't want to do too much in advance to cause confusion, because if you have, especially in production now, custom is different. You can create reports all day long showing options and prices and give them something to kind of start with. So if you're looking for some kind of a catalog to say, here's what I think we should start with, great. But this is about sales, so we're trying to make sure that these people are getting engaged. And that's always been our goal, is to get out there and say, this is what we're doing. So, okay, so next, you guys, I think that covers this. I'll tell you what, Angie, I'm going to call into your office and talk to you, but right now, you guys, I want to get this taken care of. I think you all kind of see how for production builders, you're able to create multiple floor plans. You're able to create multiple systems based on community and different builders. So you can go out into the field, hire a brand new salesperson, and maybe he's only been on the job for a few hours. You say, well, you're going to be selling to KB Homes. You're going to be selling in the Desert Sands community. So load that data set. Salesperson opens it up. Okay, there's security. And if your salesperson is not a complete moron, they will simply say, I know what security is. I used to sell Interlogic, so now I'm going to sell UltraSync. Fine. They understand the concept. So once they understand how Salez Toolz works, you can have brand new salespeople selling very quickly. It's not going to take weeks or months. So you guys, I want to thank you all for coming today, and I will let you go. You guys have a great day.